Hi, this is Glenda. I sort of feel like I've been doing hardly any craft at all this week. I don't know where the week's gone. It was just a week ago that we did our market. It was the one we had the highest hopes for, and my daughter didn't do too bad, but not in comparison to other people we've spoken to, but better than some others. I didn't even break the $100 mark, and then you take off the fee for the table, and you know, it's so not worthwhile, except I get to spend a really quality day with my daughter, and that is worthwhile. The things I mostly sold were the things that I had decided weren't going to sell, and I'd reduced the price to a point that I wasn't happy to make them for. It would seem, the Frugal Crafters often said $5 is a good price point for things, that people seem to accept that. In Australia, it looks like the price point is about $3, and it's sort of our smallest note is $5, and I think anything that's under that, people feel they're spending small change, and it's okay. So, you know, there's very little that I'm willing to make for sort of $3. So anyway, yeah, we're going to do it again 4 days before Christmas. She's signed up for that, which is the same market again, but last time it was part of a sort of a fair for the shopping centre. They're strip shops, and as in not stripper shops, rows of shops, for those who don't call them that in other countries. And they had sort of like a fun fair day with activities for the kids, and the shops had stalls at the front, and the restriction for the market was it was an artisan market to be handmade, and you couldn't have anything that the shops sold, so there was no food. Anyway, that's what it was. And now it was right near the railway line, and my train's derailed, and I can't remember what else I wanted to tell you about it. But for those who've been following with markets, there's no way you're going to make your fortune. We also discovered that you cannot leave the gazebo without weights on the legs. Because we don't normally put guy ropes on, I had it in my mind we didn't normally peg down the feet, but normally we do peg the actual feet. And our gazebo took off and headed towards the road. 2 lovely guys came and helped us, which was great. So, moral is, do not weight your gazebo legs. It's the first time we've had to use a gazebo. Everything else we've done has been inside, which with the sort of stuff we've got is a much easier idea, because if we get any rain or moisture building up, our stock will be ruined. So anyway, this is my next project. I thought I'd make some gift toppers or decorations or bows, and I've been struggling with what to call them. My husband said gift topper was the first thing that came to his mind, so I thought, he's not a crafter, okay, we'll go with that, because I thought maybe that was only a term crafters would understand. So of course, by the time I tried to work out a formula to mass produce these, I already had a great pile of them. You can dress them up any way you like, obviously. Because I'm hoping to get a few dollars for them, I've kept them relatively simple and low cost. Like for this one, I cut up a doily that had 3 parts to it, and I've used the 3 parts on 3 different ones. I've already got the cardstock. The bling is relatively cheap bling, so we're sort of low cost. I've included 2 meters of ribbon with each one. And some of them I've put pegs on the back to hold them. Then I ran out of pegs, and it's getting towards Christmas and the shops are getting hectic. So the others I've just put a piece of double-sided foam tape on them to stick them on the gifts. So I'm hoping maybe because they're a little bit different, they'll capture people's imagination if they want to make their presents look different. I'm figuring so close to Christmas, people will have done their Christmas shopping, they will have given their teacher gifts, and it's sort of really hard to come up with what items they're still going to be remotely looking for. Most people will be in food mode. They probably won't have quite got to New Year's thoughts yet, because usually you get over the Christmas hurdle and then you work on New Year. I was thinking school holiday things, because this is our big school holidays, our summer holidays, so the kids are off for 5 weeks, something like that. But I can't come up with things because you've got to compete with the $2 shops, and that's where everybody's mind is when it comes to shopping. They all are only interested in bargains. Nobody is coming to a craft fair for handmade items. They still want bargains. So anyway, I thought I'll quickly run through what I came up with for these. Get that out of the way. Basically, they've got 3 layers. So you want a doily for the bottom of some sort. This is a Cherry Lin die. So it could be a die, it could be an actual doily of fabric or paper or whatever you want. But I think something lacy in the back is quite good. And I noticed this one still has some bits not popped out. The thing with these is they're time consuming to cut, because I mean, I've got an e-bosser and I thought, right, I'm going to put an A4 sheet down and cut out all my pieces at once. Cherry Lin and Spellbinders did not work together well because they're slightly different thicknesses, and so they don't go through properly together. Most of my things were Spellbinders, and then I was just using the Cherry Lin for the lacy backgrounds. So there's 2 runs to start with. And of course, if it doesn't cut, you end up with bits in the bin. You end up, it's just not a quick way of doing it. So, you know, I'm thinking of a $3 price point for these. I'm guessing I'll, in reality, only be able to get 2. And I'm only doing it so I've got something to sell, because, you know, the stuff I've been selling isn't selling, if that makes any sense. So anyway, you want a doily. You want a 5-pointed layer. I tried a 6, it didn't work, so I don't know if a 7 would. I didn't have a 7-pointed snowflake or anything like that. So I've done some with this one, and I've done some using the star. The star I think is fine for a Christmas topper. Probably if people are looking for events other than Christmas, keeping it to the lacy one is better. And then another lacy piece to go on top. So a lot of people are doing this at the moment, and I'm just wondering which one will show up best, but basically you're going to take your 5 points and you're going to score from the point to the indent on every one. So and then you fold them, finish them in, super precision doesn't seem to matter as long as it's folding more or less along the line. You want to get those in nice and firmly. And then you just pinch these together, and it gives you dimension. So I'll do it to my lacy one as well. I just thought that might be a bit hard to see, but it's the one I want to make up. So from each point, I'm not sure if you haven't got a die with 5 points, I'm not sure what you could use instead. As soon as you start buying pre-cut things, you add to the cost, and if that's for your own gifts, that's fine. You might be able to find some pretty snowflakes or something like that that are already die cut that you could use. We don't have a lot of snowflakes in Australia because it is midsummer for Christmas, although with the weather at the moment you would never know. We actually had snow in the hills the other day, or in the mountains. For those who don't know Australia's climate, we do not get snow in the city. Okay, so again we just push these in. we've got dimension. So then I fiddled around with foam dots and thought, honestly, because you want to squash it down a bit more, the hot glue is just as easy and probably better for this. On some of these I've added some feathers in. I did it after the fact. If you want feathers or anything like that, it's probably better to do it before the fact. In fact, I probably wanted to put some of this in, but probably wanted to put it on the previous layer, which hasn't stuck down anyway because I'm fiddly-faddling around and that's a big glob of glue. But just for something different. It gives it a bit of a vintagey look, I think. I'm hoping people will see vintage when they look at these. The other thing I've been doing is just choosing one of these two bottom layers, it doesn't matter which one, and randomly putting on a little bit of glue and some glitter, just some clear glitter, which of course looks shocking when you first do it, but once the glue dries it's all cool. But it just gives it that tiny bit of sparkle, which you so need sparkle on presents, whether they're Christmas or anything else. Adds to the magic of it. If I'd thought I would have done that before I stuck the two layers together, but I forgot about it because it's been 2 days since I made the last ones, and yes, I've been busy. That's my auntie's 80th birthday was one of our events. Just add that one. And a second ago I did have a third layer to put on it. No, I didn't, did I? Because that is the third layer. And that'll do. This is going to be my display one anyway, that I put on my little sign that hopefully identifies them. That's the other thing, I'm having trouble with the space available to display things properly so that people can really see what they are. They've got to just about pick everything up to work out what it is, so I'm going to extra effort this time to try and have explainable displays. So then when that glue is set, just a bit of double-sided foam tape on the back, make sure it's a nice strong one, and they're my Christmas toppers. So hopefully once you put it on a gift it will, I don't know, I'll let you know how they go if I remember. I think that's all I have after having rambled way more than usual, and thank you for watching.